If you keep losing yourself in relationships, there's a hidden part of you that's been sabotaging every connection you've ever had. And until you face it, you'll keep repeating the same painful cycle, no matter how hard you try to change. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share completely transformed my relationships, and it can transform yours too. Let me ask you something. Do you still recognize yourself? Maybe your friends have slowly faded away, your hobbies feel like a distant memory, and your entire life now revolves around someone else's schedule, not yours. Here's what's really happening. You're not just in love. You're disappearing. And the worst part, the more you shrink yourself, the more emotionally distant your partner becomes. It's like you're trying so hard to be perfect that you've become invisible. So, why does this keep happening? Why do you keep attracting people who make you feel like you have to hide parts of yourself? Here's the truth nobody talks about. It's not bad luck. It's not your appearance. It's your shadow. Your shadow is made up of all the parts of yourself you've learned to reject, the needs you think are too much, the emotions you're afraid to express, the desires you've been taught to suppress. And here's the kicker. These rejected parts don't just disappear. They run your life from the shadows, quietly choosing partners who confirm your deepest fear, that the real you isn't enough. I know this because I lived it for years. I used to be the queen of self-abandonment. Every time I dated someone new, I'd hit reset on my entire identity. I'd stop calling my friends. I'd give up painting, something I loved. I'd skip yoga classes because my partner wasn't into it. I became a chameleon, constantly shape-shifting to keep the peace. And you know what happened? The more I tried to be perfect, the more they pulled away. It was this brutal cycle. Fall hard, lose myself, watch them lose interest. Rinse and repeat. I thought I was doing everything right. I was accommodating, easygoing, never causing problems. But deep down, I was terrified that if they saw the real me, with all my needs, emotions, and imperfections, they'd leave. So I hid. And in hiding myself, I lost the only thing that could create real intimacy: authenticity. Everything changed when I discovered shadow work, specifically 3 steps that completely rewired how I show up in relationships. These weren't just feel-good exercises. They were deep, uncomfortable, transformative practices that forced me to face the parts of myself I'd been running for my entire life. And when I finally did, my relationships transformed. Not just romantic ones, all of them. And listen, if you're resonating with this, I created an in-depth training where I walk you through the complete system for reclaiming yourself in relationships. The link is in the description. Definitely check it out after this video. But for now, let me give you the 3 steps that started it all. The first step is recognizing that your partner is a mirror. Whatever triggers you most about them, their neediness, their emotional distance, their inability to commit, is actually reflecting something you've rejected in yourself. For me, it was jealousy. I used to get intensely jealous whenever my partner talked to other women. I thought it was about them, that they weren't trustworthy or committed enough. But through shadow work, I realized my jealousy wasn't about them at all. It was about me. Deep down, I was terrified of my own power. I was scared to be seen, scared to shine, scared to take up space. So instead of stepping into my light, I focused all my energy on controlling my partner. Here's how you apply this. The next time you feel triggered, pause. Ask yourself, what part of me am I rejecting right now? If you're annoyed by their neediness, maybe you're rejecting your own needs. If you're frustrated by their emotional unavailability, maybe you're the one who's been unavailable to yourself. The mirror doesn't lie. And once you see what it's showing you, you can't unsee it. The second step is the hardest and the most powerful. You have to reclaim the parts of yourself you've been hiding. We all have aspects of ourselves we think are too much or not enough. Maybe you think you're too needy, too emotional, too demanding. Or maybe you think you're not interesting enough, not attractive enough, not worthy of love. So you bury those parts. You push them down, ignore them, pretend they don't exist. But here's what I learned. Those rejected parts don't disappear. They control you from the shadows. For me, I thought my needs were shameful. I believed that wanting attention, affection, and reassurance made me weak. So I became the cool girl, the one who never asked for anything, never complained, never caused drama. But all those unmet needs, they leaked out in passive-aggressive comments, emotional withdrawals, and resentment that built up over time. Here's what reclaiming looks like. Write down every part of yourself you've been taught to hide. Get brutally honest. Then, for each one, ask, what if this part of me isn't bad? What if it's actually here to protect me or guide me? Your neediness might be your inner child asking for safety. Your anger might be your boundary keeper showing you where you've been violated. Your sensitivity might be your superpower for deep connection. When you stop rejecting these parts and start accepting them, everything shifts. The final step is integration, bringing all parts of yourself into your relationships, even the messy ones. This is where the real transformation happens. Because knowing your shadow is one thing, living with it fully expressed is another. Integration means communicating your needs instead of expecting your partner to read your mind, setting boundaries even when it feels uncomfortable, expressing your emotions instead of suppressing them to keep the peace, staying connected to yourself, your hobbies, your friendships, your passions, even when you're in a relationship. When I finally integrated my shadow, something miraculous happened. I stopped attracting emotionally unavailable people. Instead, I started attracting partners who wanted the real me, not some edited, filtered, people-pleasing version. And the relationship I'm in now, it's the healthiest one I've ever had. Not because it's perfect, but because I'm whole. I don't abandon myself anymore. I don't shrink. I don't hide. And because of that, my partner actually gets to see me and love me for who I really am. Here's what I want you to understand. You're not broken. You're not unlovable. You're not too much. You've just been taught to hide the very parts of yourself that make you magnetic. And the moment you stop hiding, everything changes. You stop attracting people who need you to be small. You stop feeling like you have to choose between love and yourself. You stop losing yourself in every relationship. Instead, you become whole. And from that wholeness, you attract the kind of love you've always deserved. So here's my question for you. How much longer are you willing to keep losing yourself? Because the truth is, real connection doesn't start when you meet the right person. It starts when you meet yourself, all of yourself, including the parts you've been running from. If you're ready to stop the cycle and finally reclaim yourself, I've created a powerful training where I walk you through the complete shadow work process for women who lose themselves in relationships. This isn't just theory. It's a step-by-step transformation system that will help you identify the exact shadow patterns keeping you stuck, heal the wounds that make you abandon yourself, attract relationships where you can be fully seen and loved. The link is in the description. Click it now because your future self, the one who finally feels whole in love, is waiting for you. Remember, you don't need to become someone else to be loved. You need to become more of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.